Thank you for everyone who turned up and joined that conversation. It's one that really needs to be heard, especially at this time. I am joined by Pius Makokha, karibu sana. He's a clinical psychologist.
Counseling
A
psychologist.
counseling. I keep forgetting. I keep twisting them. A counseling psychologist. Thank you for joining us on E Squared. Today we are dealing with stress and depression. And from the story that we have seen, a lot of youth are battling very many issues, and they don't know how to. It seems like the problem is how to deal with it and how to get themselves out of it. But before we get there, how do we recognize the signs, the symptoms that, hey, you guy, me, I think I'm going through depression. Let's start from there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps I can start by introducing myself in a more detailed way.
Please do, Karibu.
Thank you. So, like she said, Pius Makokha, and I'm a counseling psychologist, and I volunteer with a number of organizations.
Okay.
One of them being Mental 360. It is a youth-led organization that champions for the mental well-being of young people.
All right.
I also work with the Kenya Red Cross Society, Nairobi branch.
Yeah.
And I co-founded a society of young counselors and psychologists. And we call ourselves Psychology for Better Living. It's a society of young counselors and psychologists.
Awesome.
We also have psychologists for awareness in Kenya.
Yeah.
We are bringing together a team of young counselors, psychologists, and mental advocates.
Yeah.
And we are just advocating for mental well-being of everyone.
Everyone.
Yes.
How can you tell that you are suffering from stress and depression? What are the telltale symptoms?
Yes. To begin with, depression is an illness, just like cholera, malaria, and even typhoid. Yeah. So there are these signs that you can look out for them.
Yeah.
But we always encourage people never to self-diagnose themselves.
Yeah.
Go out, seek professional services. Someone who will diagnose you with a specific test tool.
Yeah.
It is there. By the way, say, like, for example, depression has a specific test tool. There are things that are looked for by a professional for you to be told that you're suffering from depression.
Yeah.
So you just can't look at yourself because you are having this low mood and you say, I'm depressed.
Yeah.
It can be something else.
Okay.
Yes.
So
signs.
Yeah, signs yes.
are very key. Depression is a mood disorder to begin with. So mood disorder, it's all about how you're feeling. You'll feel low, and it is mostly marked with sadness, extreme sadness, loss of interest in things that you used to find pleasure in.
Yeah.
You used to hang out with friends, but currently you're not feeling like hanging out.
Yeah.
You used to enjoy football. You currently feel like you can't even watch anymore.
Yeah.
Then there is the issue of the sleep, which are key. Sleep. You watch your sleep pattern. It can be more or less.
Or less.
They say that the recommended time for us to sleep, the healthy one, is about 6 to 8 hours.
Yes.
But you find yourself you're sleeping 2 hours or even 10 hours. There is something that you need to look out for.
So undersleeping or oversleeping?
Yes.
Okay.
The same thing to appetite.
Yeah.
You're overeating or undereating. After you started developing those signs. Not that any day you feel like you are eating more, you are now depressed.
No.
There are many other factors that should also contribute to that.
Yeah.
That's why we encourage people to go out and seek professional help.
Okay.
Yes.
Fine. Taking the cue from the story and the experiences that have been shared by the youth out there, the stories between the men were almost similar. The expectations that the society, the family brought on them, that's what led them to where they are. How do you describe someone getting into that situation because of the society, and how can they deal with that, pressure? You're just feeling, yani, if I don't do this, this will happen. If I don't do this, and then all of a sudden you just find yourself going.
Yes, these are stories that we hear out here.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, every man in this room will tell you the same story.
Yeah.
The society has a different expectation on men
Yeah.
as compared to women.
Mhm.
We are expected to provide. We are expected to be the protector, even if we don't have the strength.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have any source of income, you're expected to bring food back home. The whole issue builds up to something, to a level that is toxic to you. Then you find yourself, you're either in depression or even attempts, suicidal attempts.
Yeah.
Yes. So men, I think what the society needs to do is that we need to be friendly to men. Let's understand that men are also human beings.
True.
So we can also expect them not to be perfect.
Yeah.
They can fail in one or two areas, and let's create that conducive environment where men can come and share their stories. I have this issue in regards to this and this.
Yeah.
I can share with this and this in this
Person.
and this in this and this place.
Yeah. What are the various stages of depression?
Depression.
Yeah.
Depression will begin with it happens on a continuum. It's like a line.
Yeah.
It starts from mild, moderate to severe.
Yeah.
Now it depends with which stage you are in. Mostly in severe, psychotherapy or counseling will not have much, but medication plus psychotherapy will be very effective.
Okay.
So moderate and severe, we encourage people. Actually, when you come to me as a psychologist, there is something that I first look for. There's something called insight. I know we understand what an insight is.
Yeah.
Do you understand yourself? If you don't understand yourself, then that means that I cannot help you much. You need something else, and that something else is medication. So, and this mostly happens with people who are on moderate and severe.
How does insight lead you? If you don't know yourself, how is it that you're taken through medication as opposed to first someone leading you to that quote and unquote knowing yourself?
Now, in counseling, it is a talk therapy, actually.
Okay.
You can't talk to me if you don't understand yourself.
Yeah.
Because I'll be asking you questions in regards to your life, your past, and what you're feeling.
Yeah.
What if you don't understand yourself? What will you tell me? You'll give me misleading information, of which I'll also make misleading diagnosis.
Okay.
So it will not be very effective.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
And that's why we have antidepressants for those who are suffering from depression in severe and moderate stage.
What can you say about the way society is exerting pressure on people we call celebrities?
Psychology is all about us being real with yourself and being real with other people.
Yeah.
That is basically what psychology is supposed to be. But when you hear the stories they gave us,
yeah,
it all comes down to expectations. The society expects you to be this and this and this.
Yeah.
Even me right now, because people are watching me now, maybe I'll be somewhere on a TV or somewhere in the social media, so they might think, because this guy can be able to talk on this channel or something of the sort, he's supposed to have, maybe his life is different because he has some money, or
it's a certain mindset.
Yes.
Yeah.
As in, maybe they will not expect me, for example, to be staying in Umoja.
Yeah.
They will not expect me, for example, to be staying maybe in Kibera, because they have seen me on TV, because they have seen me performing, and what have you.
And they'd be expecting you to drive, not in a matatu.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you see, all these expectations, they are affecting our life negatively.
Yeah.
So you'll find that we are not able to cope with these expectations. We do not have people we can share our stories with. We do not have the proper system, especially here in Kenya, to help us find a cure to our own mental illnesses. So we find ourselves going back to either drugs or falling to depression, and some of us attempting suicide several times.
Yeah.
So it's a very sad state in Kenya and even in Africa.
So what do we need to do to reverse this situation? Society, generally, you and me.
We've already started.
Yeah.
We've started by having this conversation. We have the conversations going. Let people start talking about mental health.
Yeah.
Let people start talking about depression. People start talking about schizophrenia and
Yeah.
many other mental illnesses. Let's also have the government in investing more into mental health.
Why do you think this pandemic has caused it to spike?
I'll begin by saying that the issues of suicides have been there since.
Yeah.
Globally, the World Health Organization will record that more than 468 million people are affected by mental illness.
Yeah.
But you know, this is statistics
Mm-hmm.
that have been recorded somewhere.
Yeah.
But when you come back to our country, for example, we have a very poor way of recording these things.
Yeah.
So we might be having even higher cases because Kenya Bureau of Statistics recorded in 2018, we had 421 deaths due to suicide. Now, 421 are only those cases that have been reported. What about those ones that have been concealed by the family because of the stigma?
Yeah.
So the numbers might be high. Now, when you come to COVID-19, it has brought about so many inconveniences and so many issues because we are having struggles with our finances.
Yeah.
Our social interaction has been cut, and we're also having issues with health because there's a lot of fear and anxiety. You are not sure who is positive and who is not positive,
Yeah.
and you are not sure what will happen after you get infected. Will you die or will you not die? You know, there are a lot of things. So all these things are affecting our mental health. And so that's why there is a surge number of suicide attempts and even suicides, death in Kenya and even globally.
Globally.
Yes.
Do you see as though we can reverse this situation?
Yes, there is nothing under the sun that has no solution.
Yeah.
Every problem that comes out of man has solution from man. And we can sit down as a society and change the whole situation.
Before I let you go, we have sessions where we meet a lot of young people, kule mtaani, and they think there is this notion that we've had them talking about depression, stress, hizo ni vitu za masonko. Yet, there's a lot of depression among those people. And how do you even tell them huyu mtu uko na yeye anaweza kuwa na depression, but the fact that unajigamba ati ni kitu ya masos haezi kuwa nayo. So someone is watching back there at home, they don't know they are depressed, but they have that notion ati kwa sababu mimi niko kule mtaani siwezi kuwa na depression. What can you tell that person who is a friend to someone who has it, but they don't know?
Yes, thank you. That is a question that I often meet out here.
Yeah.
My response will be, to begin with, we always have these conversations in English. Everywhere you go, you see people speaking about depression and mental health in English.
Yeah.
What about that mse wa mtaa
Yeah.
who doesn't understand English that much?
Mm-hmm.
Or those people who've never gone to school.
Yeah.
So we need to have conversations about mental health in Swahili, in our mother tongue, in whatever language that they will understand better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And encourage them to open up, because there are people who care and people who love them out here.
Out here. Yes.
Let them open up and share their stories, and they can find help anytime, anywhere.
There's this notion that seeking mental health help is very expensive. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people maybe kule mtaani wanafikiria hii ugonjwa ni ya masos kwa sababu it's associated with extremely expensive, modes of treatment. Has that changed over the years? Is treatment more affordable for everyone?
Thank you. That is a very good question.
Yeah.
And I can say this, yes, the costs of mental health services are a bit high.
Yeah.
Because of a number of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I will not be able to discuss it today.
Yeah.
But bottom line is, if you can be able as Kenyans to afford to buy a phone worth 10,000 for yourself, what about your mental health? Do we prioritize a phone over your mental health, or what do you prioritize your life to?
Yeah.
So I believe we can be able to afford all these things, but I acknowledge that it is a bit expensive out here. I know that the minimum rate that you can pay per session is about 1,000 to around 2,500.
Yeah.
Some go away to 4,000 per session.
Yeah.
So it depends. But like I said, if you have value for your health, you will find the money, and you'll find the ways in which you can seek those help.
Wow, that's expensive though. That's expensive. So I'm actually worried about those in the hood, informal settlements. What if they are having serious issues? There's nowhere that is offering pro bono services, a government hospital that offers mental health treatment for, that will cover the cost for almost, level the ground for everyone currently.
Actually,
Yeah.
I did my internship at Mathare National Hospital.
Yeah.
And when you come to Mathare National Hospital, for those people who are suffering from drug addiction,
Yeah.
you only pay 50 bob for the whole session that day.
Oh, wow.
Only 50 bob.
Uh-huh.
Then when you need medication,
Yeah.
that is another cost. But when you come to the counseling sessions for the drug addiction, it's only 50 bob. When you come to psychotherapy, where
Yeah.
you come now with the issues, be it from family or even from anything, any other source,
Yeah.
you only pay 500.
Okay.
500. That
Yeah.
is the cheapest I've ever come across. So the places to get help are there, but the only thing is that we have a stigma. For example, you can't recommend someone to go to Mathare and heed your advice, because they say, no,
Yeah.
I'm not going to that place because that place is full of mad people.
Yeah, the
Instead,
stigma.
yes,
Yeah.
instead of going there and seeking services. So we need to destigmatize all these institutions that are offering mental health services.
Yeah.
Yes. And when the government invests more in mental health, then the cost will go down.
Will go down.
Yes, because every county, every province, or what have you, will have public hospitals that will be offering mental health services.
Yeah.
And the cost will definitely go down.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Pius, for coming to the show. You've enlightened us, and I hope even somebody back at home has been enlightened and they've gotten the much help that they needed. If somebody needs to reach out to you, your organization, how can they reach out to you?
You can find me on Facebook as Duncan Pius. On Twitter is Makokha, Duncan Makokha 1, and Instagram at Makokha Pius, and LinkedIn at Duncan Makokha, YouTube at Makokha Pius. YouTube, it is Makokha Pius. And let's continue, let's have these conversations at our home, school, and even workplaces. Yeah. And I'm so happy to be here. I congratulate everyone who has made this possible.
Thank you.
I'm one man that I can even stand 10 hours speaking about mental health.
Yeah.
Yes, because I love it, and it is one of the reasons why I decided to be a mental health advocate and practitioner. It's because I also wanted to find myself when I was young, in my high school. So when I went to campus, that was my purpose, and here I am, giving service to humanity.
Yes, and helping change the mental health of very many people.
So anytime, anywhere, I'm available to help where I can.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you too.
All right.